we'll be back out on the road.
Funny how you know he OD.
I'm good at handling shit.
Casino will bring unprecedented wealth to this town.
You have the power, Andre. What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man, VACAY-J, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for P-Valley Season 2, Episode 6 recap. And family, this one was a very, very deep episode, real deep. And we see what's going on with Keyshawn, we see what's going on with Mercedes, and we definitely see what's going on with your boy right here, Big Teak, man. Rest in peace. Before we get into this, definitely check out all my episode recaps. Definitely keep up with the playlist. And absolutely definitely check out that Little Murder versus Pico video. All right, fam. So let's get into episode 6 for P-Valley Season 2. All right, so the name of this episode is Savage, and it reads, Andre's mayoral campaign picks up speed as Autumn and Uncle Clifford wage war. Mercedes finds herself further entangled in Memphis. Back in Chucalissa, Little Murder helps Big Teak find his footing in a broken new world. So, out the gate, we see what's going on with your boy Diamond and Big Bone are getting it in off the top, making it happen. Your boy Diamond is getting into it. They are getting down. And he looks down at Big Bone, but he sees your girl Keyshawn calling out his name. Diamond, right? And your boy's like, what the heck is going on? He tries to look away. Big Bone pulls his face back, and he's looking down, and all he can see is Keyshawn. After they get done, Big Bone is looking around. He sees Montavious' ring over there on the dresser, right? And all propped up. So she looks at it, and she's about to go touch it. Right? I don't know why she gonna touch that thing, right? And your boy Diamond comes over, he's like, hey, you want your titties to grow out your back and all this and that? She's like, nah, that's not a good look. He's like, well, I suggest you don't even touch that thing, right? She's like, what's it for? She said, for protection. She's like, listen, I noticed you wasn't looking at me. I'm gonna need you to keep your eyes directly on me next time it goes down. And so he says, well, next time is right now, right? So now we hit the streets. And we see they out there, look like they doing a video and the whole nine, right? And it looks like that's exactly what it is. But they are celebrating your boy Big Teak, right? Just holding him down, holding your boy Little Murder down. So they celebrating your boy Big Teak. Yeah, and look who rolls up. Little Murder rolls up with the red, green, and black car laced out. And your boy Big Teak is like, oh my God, he can't believe it. He's seeing Little Murder come out the car smiling. He's like, yo, we celebrating you, and this car is for you. Throws him the keys. I mean, he got a brand new car. And yeah, Big Teak definitely is happy about them celebrating him. Come on out. And of course, Little Murder made all that money on tour. So they definitely celebrating, you know, your boy Big Teak, as he definitely held down Little Murder, and now he's back with the crew, back with the squad, and definitely he's grateful. So they toasted up to Big Teak as he gets his new car. Now he's in his new car, and it's clear that your boy Big Teak is very emotional, like seriously emotional that he got the car, emotional that he's out, and probably emotional about a couple other things. And Little Murder's checking on him or whatever. The ladies are around. He's like, hey, you know, back up. He may start doing some donuts, right? But it's clear your boy Big Teak is definitely touched by all the love that he's getting. And what does he do? That's right. He starts doing donuts, right? He starts screeching and all of this and that through the parking lot, and definitely enjoying his new whip. Little Murder and the squad are definitely celebrating your boy. Now, back at the Pink, we see Uncle Clifford and Big L. He's like 3, 2, 1. And Big L cut off the water. So Autumn Night, Haley, she's like, yo, cut that water back on. I'm not playing with you. He's like, yo, you ain't paid me, so I ain't cutting it back on. She's like, stop playing. Uncle Cliff is like, oh, you getting ready to wear this really nice, cute dress? And she snatches it from him. She's like, listen, Big L, cut the water back on. I got places to go. So Uncle Clifford and Big L, they're in the office trying to figure out exactly what she's doing, what she's up to, because she's not telling her where she's going. She's not telling him what's going on at all. And it seems like a lot of other folks are doing things and not telling Uncle Clifford either. Like your girls, Whisper and Roulette, talking about bringing the pink to the people. So they got their own little thing going on and they're going to perform. So Uncle Clifford's like, yeah, I'm going to sue them for copyright infringement. But yes, Uncle Clifford is trying to figure out exactly what is Haley's next move. Now we're in the barbershop, and it looks like your boy Little Murda is making sure that, yeah, your boy Big Teak is definitely being well taken care of, getting his old grooming on and getting his little haircut or whatever. And yeah, they're talking about going back on tour, and looks like Big Teak don't really want to go back on tour, but Little Murda, he wants him definitely go back on tour with him. So he gets his fresh cut, and yeah, he's looking at, yeah, look at that picture right on the side. I've got a picture of him and the devil in the back, right? It's crazy. So anyway, we see Keyshawn, and Keyshawn is talking to Little Murda, and they're like, yeah, you know, what's going on with the tour? And Keyshawn is like, yeah, Rome tried to, you know, he tried it. He tried it on me. And he's like, word, for real? Well, it's good that he dead then. He's good that he's dead because he tried to, you know, he tried to rape Keyshawn. So they talking, and then Derek comes. He's like, who's that? And she's like, I gotta go. So she hangs up the phone immediately. And she's like, yeah, that was Little Murda. He's just, you know, asking about, you know, Rome and the whole death. He's like, yeah, man, he was a good dude. And Keyshawn is like, yeah, he was. Like, she's not going to tell him that he tried to rape her, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what he thought in the first place. He thought that he was going to try that on Keyshawn, and he definitely did. But she seems to be really upset, but she's waiting for him to leave because he's going to some party, and she wants to do some things and get out of there. So now, outside the barbershop, you know, trying to figure out what they're going to do. And he's like, yo, we're not going back on tour because, you know, something happened with Rome, and Rome tried to, you know, do something to Keyshawn. So we ain't going back on a tour no time soon. So they don't got nothing to do. She's like, yo, let's just ride around your new whip and get up out of there, right? So, you know, that whip is kind of crazy, right? Look at the colors. So now we are at Shell's house, and your girl Mercedes rolls up. It's like, yo, is Terica there? She's like, nah, she's not here. She's like, well, I got some groceries for you, right? So she brings over some groceries, and she goes in the refrigerator, and she sees these rotten oranges, 2 rotten oranges just sitting right there on the top shelf. Like, what is going on? So she goes to throw them out, and she sees all the bottles of wine and alcohol in the trash. She's like, how long did it take you to drink all that? You know, so they're kind of going back and forth. Shell clearly does not like Mercedes, but she's appreciative of the groceries, right? So she's like, listen, you know, we got to talk. You know, there's a lot going on. And she's like, no, everything is perfectly fine. She's like, she's drunk right now, right? So Mercedes is like, listen, you said that Terica was a mistake. Do you know what you said? When she was driving you around and she got caught, and then we got back to the house, yeah, you said that Terica was a big mistake. She was like, no, I would never. And she looks like she is still drunk. And she's like, listen, you know, like, there's a lot going on with you. You know, how about I take Terica off your hands so you can get yourself together? She's like, well, you know, you can give me a job and all of this and that, not working on the pole, then I'll be all right. I just need a job. She's like, no, you're not taking Terica. You're not taking Terica. You know, there's a difference between being a mother and being a parent. And you definitely pushed her out, but I don't want her living in that ghetto area. I mean, she is just so turning her nose up, but yet she's doing all of this stuff. And Mercedes is like, yo, there's nothing I can do, right? There's nothing I can do to definitely make sure you know that I'm more than capable of taking Terica. So she's trying to call Terica, and Coach calls. So she's like, hey, Coach, what's going on? He's like, yeah, I want to finish that Mercedes experience. You know, why don't you come over and everything else like that? She's like, okay. Then she's like, I got to go. Terica calls, and she's like, hello. But Terica hangs up. She's like so upset because she's been trying to find Terica, can't find her. Now we at the wing spot, and we see Lil Murda and Big Teak. And, you know, the waitress is looking at Big Teak and looking at his eyes, complimenting him like, yeah, oh, you look good, flirting with Big Teak and the whole 9, right? And your boy Little Murda's on some like, hey, can you go get us, you know, this, that, and third? You know, like, get up out of here. Like, he's like, yo, trying to get out of. She's like, okay, well, rude, right? So Little Murda's definitely protective of Big Teak, right? So they get to talking. And Little Murder's on some like, yeah, well, I didn't know that, we was out on a date. And your boy Big T is like, yeah, I didn't think we'd ever get a chance to do this, right? So they get to talking and he starts to ask about Uncle Clifford. And Little Murder's like, well, it's not a he, it's a she. He's like, a she. A she, what is that about? Like he, she, like, he's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but So he's talking about it and explaining who Uncle Clifford is and what Uncle Clifford means to him. And that Little Murder really doesn't know what's going on. He really has no idea of what's going on between him and Uncle Clifford. And it gets pretty serious. And Big Teak is on some like, listen, man, he's really showing that he cares about Little Murder, but he sees that he's moving on and that the world has moved on without him since being locked up for so long. And I believe that Little Murder definitely feels bad about him being in that hole and doing everything to make sure that Little Murder was safe. But they get to talking, they're looking at each other, and Little Murder still is like, I messed up. I messed up on all levels, right? Even with him. So he tries to touch Big Teak's hand, and Big Teak closes his eyes and everything else like that, but he pulls away from Little Murder, pulls away from him, you know what I'm saying? Because he's still upset about everything that's going on. Thought he was going to hold him down while he was inside. But it's clear that Little Murder is moving on, right? But he's still cool. He's still like, yo, it's all good. We still good. But, he understands what's really going on as far as their relationship. But Little Murder's still trying to figure it out. He's trying to figure out himself. He's trying to figure out everything. Meanwhile, back at the house, Keyshawn is making sure that Derek leaves. And once he leaves, she goes into the little vent there and she pulls out the stash. And yeah, she still got, the strap that she got from Autumn Night, from Haley, right? She still got that pink strap. So she gets the bag. She's all packed up. And she gets the kids and she is ready to go. Just like she said in the last episode, we are leaving. And she is ready to take the kids and get up out of there. Don't know where she's going, but she's making sure she got everything and she's about to leave the house, right? So she puts the kids in the car, into the Prius, right? It's right out front, into the Prius, looking all bad. I mean, look at her, man, like beat up and everything. And she's trying to start the car and the car is not starting. She goes to the back. This dude took out the battery from the car. It's like, man, he really wants to trap her. He really is making sure that she doesn't go anywhere. And he knows that he's wrong. He knows that he's doing her wrong and the kids wrong. So he's making sure that she stays there and stays in the house. Crazy, right? So now we see Big T. He's rolling up and he's saying in Little Murder's like, yo, y'all going to give me a new car and don't put no gas in it. What's up with that? So he's like, well, we getting premium? He's like, man, you better get regular. So he goes there and he doesn't know how to do it. Little Murder tries to help him out. And then Little Murder hears his song or his voice on the radio, goes in somebody else's car and turns up the radio. He's like, yo, that's me, that's me. And yeah, it's that verse that he did that he sent in to DJ Never Scared. And DJ Never Scared put it on a song with this other person, Tina Snow. You already know, you guys should know, Tina Snow at this point is Meg Thee Stallion. So we're going to see Meg Thee Stallion real soon. Little Murder's celebrating. Big Teak is celebrating. He's like, that's me, that's me, that's me. And Big Teak is just so excited about everything that's going on. And he's like, man. So the dude is like, yo, man, you going to pump your gas or what, right? So Big Teak, of course, he about to turn up on the dude, man. He's about to turn up on the dude while they celebrating. Little Murder has to keep him, hold him back from getting at this guy. And then the girl comes over, he's like, yo, well, being that you famous, can I take a picture with you? He's like, of course. So he's taking a picture with the girl, that was in the car. And yeah, they celebrating. Little Murder is definitely blowing up right now. All right, now, at this other place, we got Roulette and we got Whisper, and they are doing some crazy acrobatics. I mean, I'm seeing moves I've never seen before. And yeah, whoever are their stunt doubles, I'm going to give it up to the stunt doubles for Whisper and Roulette. They are doing some wild stuff I've never seen in my life. And Roulette, they do this incredible move, like no hands, flipping over, spinning around. Even Whisper is impressed by what Roulette is doing. Like, and they are doing their thing. They getting mad money, and it's just them two. This is not at the Pink. This is at some other spot. Roulette does another move, and they are just making it rain up in there. And Whisper's like, wow, she's looking like, man, Roulette is killing it right now. And it looks like they're in a little competition with each other. So Roulette is collecting her money. And who shows up? Yeah, dude that was messing around with her at the pink. He's like, yo, what's going on? She's like, what's good? She's like, yo, let me holler at your girl. Why don't you talk to her? She's like, I don't know if she gets down like that. He's like, well, you know what's up, man. Like, tell her what's up. Like, I want to get down with her, right? So she's like, ah, man, now he getting with her. So now we see the coach and we see Farrah and Mercedes, and they're like, yeah, we about to get this Mercedes experience on. He's excited. He's like, man, this is awesome. Like, I don't know if I can keep up with you ladies. And he said exactly what it is. He don't know if he can keep up, and he definitely isn't. So he goes to make some blender stuff, and Farrah's like, yeah, I can't wait to get with you. And, Mercedes is on some like, yo, we need to chill. I'm here for him. And, we need to act like there's nothing going on. Nothing happened between us. I don't want you to mess up the bag. So he comes over and there's a stack right on the table on account of $40,000. And they're like, yo, you ready for this experience? It's like, yeah, let's make it happen. So Coach grabs his wife. They go to the room and Mercedes is looking. And she's looking right down at that 40 stacks. Like, she's really looking like, yo, I'm selling my soul to get this money. So now we see your girl Haley, and she's rolling up to the White House with a masquerade outfit on and everything. She just walks up inside, and we see your boy Andre, and he's there campaigning, and we see Corbin and all of these people from Chucalissa. And he's like, yes, we're going to make this happen. We're going to get this casino going. I got big shoes to fill, with my godfather, but I'm going to make it happen so everybody in Chucalissa benefits from what's about to happen with the casino, right? And he's talking about he's doing it for all of the people of Chucalissa. And some people are clapping, but not everybody is clapping, right? Not everybody's clapping about it. So your girl Haley takes off her mask and she's like, listen, I got a question. How do you really plan on making sure that everybody benefits from this casino coming in? What is your plan? How do you really believe that you can do it? And of course, Andre sees her and he's stuck. He always gets stuck looking at Haley, right? And Corbin, he's definitely upset. He's like, how did she get here? And he's like, listen, I believe I can do it. Being the son of a crackhead, my godfather took me in and definitely empowered me and poured into me. So I believe I could do the same thing in Chucalissa, pour into the people and make sure everybody wins and make sure this casino goes about and that everybody benefits from everything. So then everybody starts to clap. They're really loving Andre's message. And we see Haley is like, okay, I see you. I see that you on your toes. Corbin is upset, of course. He comes over like, who invited you? How did you get in here? And yeah, even Dre comes over like, listen, like, you can't come in here and start messing things up every time you come through. And she's like, listen, this is open to everybody. We know about it. And the waitress comes over and says, here you go, Mrs. Seagram Watkins. And he's like, okay, now we know how she got past security. And Dre's like, listen, you can't mess this up. So then the guy comes over, the original investor that was trying to get, the pink and everything. He comes over, he's like, yeah, I see you, Andre. Yeah, we're going to definitely make sure this goes through. But then he mentions how, yeah, Andre's the one that kind of messed up and didn't bid enough to get that property that we needed, right? So then, they're standing there. It's like, listen, take him to the smoke room. We're going to talk. And Corbin is like, I'm going to take out the trash. I'm going to get this girl out of here, right? So he basically grabs up Haley and takes her out. But Andre's looking back like, man, he's in love with this girl. He loves Haley for real, really infatuated by her. So now we see your girl Roulette, and Roulette is looking on and she's seeing the dude that she was basically servicing, but now he wants to get services from Whisper. And she definitely looks like she's jealous about the whole situation at the end of the night. Your boy Coach, he's going in, boy, getting that Mercedes experience. Yes, Farrah's getting into it. So is Mercedes. But turn around, Farrah starts doing some things and she starts moving her fingers around. And yeah, he notices that he's not relevant anymore and they are going in, grasping their hands, holding each other's hands, and the whole nine. Coach puts on his robe and he is pissed off. He's like, what? You basically turned my wife out. I see what's going on. And they're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's like, I brought you here for me, but looks like you and my wife are basically getting it on. And she comes out, Farrah comes out and says, listen, you don't know nothing about me. If you knew me, then you would know that I like women too, just like you do, and everything else like that. And you don't know about my dreams, and you don't know about any of that, right? So she is going in on him, saying that he knows nothing about her as he has been rising in his career and everything else like that. She's like, what about my dreams? And Mercedes comes out and says, what about her dreams? Really backing her up. And I don't know why Mercedes did that. She could have just kept silent, right? But she didn't. She spoke out. And he's like, you know what? You're out of here. You turned out my woman. You turned out my wife. And yeah, she's like, well, I want my 40 stacks. And he's like, nah, shoot, you ain't getting none of that. Farrah's like, nah, you can't go back on the deal. And he takes the stacks. She gives her her shoes, and it's pretty much over, man. So now we see Roulette. She's outside. She's smoking a cig or whatever. Guess who rolls up? Your boy Duffy rolls up. She's like, what you doing here? He's like, yeah, I'm just making a delivery. And she's just like, yeah, I see you. You look like you're trying to come on to me and everything else like that. And he definitely is. He's like, yeah, I'm feeling you. And she's like, yeah, you probably say that to all the girls. And he really trying to put it on Roulette like that. And she's like, listen, if you want to get with me, understand that I'm a hoe. And he's like, guess what? So am I, right? So they both like, yeah, I'm a hoe too. Like, we doing this, whatever. So yeah, your boy Duffy goes in on Roulette. And we're going to see exactly what goes down with this one right here. All I see is trouble, trouble, trouble. So Keyshawn, she got the strap, right? She's back in the house, and she's waiting for Derek to come back. She sees that he rolls back in. And yeah, she is basically practicing on shooting this dude when he comes in the door, right? She's pointing the strap at the door like she's going to do something when he walks in, but she gets scared, and she throws it underneath the pillow. She already put the kids to bed. So he's walking in like, how's it going? I see that your phone didn't move. She's like, yeah, we stayed in all day. And they don't even really show him. They just show her and her disappointment and her just being upset and just ready to get up out of there. Man, she got the eye jammy and all of that. So your boy Little Murder and Big Teak, they roll up to this spot, right? And Wody is on the phone. He's like, yeah, man, with Rome ODing, I don't know if this tour is going to happen. We got to figure it out. Your boy Big T goes into some type of house, right? And yeah, Wody keeps saying, yeah, he's been OD, so we can't do nothing. And Little Murder notices like, yo, it's funny how you know that he OD'd, right? Because he didn't know how, Rome passed, right? Rome died. But Wody keeps saying, yo, man, I'm going to handle things, man. Just Big T can't come on tour with us because he be turning up like the ops. So the phone dies. Little Murder looks in the glove and sees that, the strap, Big T's strap, is in the glove compartment while he goes into this house. So he's thinking that he's going into a trap house, but looks like Big T knows exactly whose house this is. And he's walking around, and it looks like a crack house, right? But he goes back to this closet. He opens the closet up, and he sees this little boy. And the little boy looks just like him, but he got blood on his shoulder. And it's like a whole bunch of screaming going on. Like kids are screaming. And this kid looks exactly like Big Teak, right? Your boy Little Murder taps him on the shoulder like, yo, man, what are you doing? What's wrong with you, right? And we look back and it's an empty closet. He's like, yo, this is the house that I grew up in. A lot went down in this house, And Little Murder's like, yeah, it went down, man. It's no longer there, man. Like, come on, we need to live in reality. We need to move forward. He's trying to encourage him to move forward and not live in the past. But there's a lot going on with Big T. So, autumn night, Haley, she's outside, and she actually sees Mrs. Seagram Watkins actually roll up late. She's like, oh, we didn't think you were coming. They're back in the cigar room. Come on back. And she's just talking like, yeah, you know what? I need a drink. If you can give me a drink, thinking that she's the help, right? But then Corbin opens the door, and he's like, oh, the drink's ready. She's like, yeah, the drinks are ready, and we came with 2 pair, of breasts, right? This lady is real sassy, right? So they walk in, and yeah, Haley's looking at Corbin like, yeah, we coming in. So they come on in. Dre is there. They all talking about what they're going to do. And she sits down, and she is basically putting a new hole in these guys' asses because she's like, yeah, y'all messed up on this property and nothing's going to mess up my casino. She gets her to drink and Haley sits right next to her. And yeah, Corbin goes over to her like, yeah, Corbin Kyle. And she's like, is that supposed to mean something? Like really distant, right? That's supposed to mean something like, who are you? He's like, well, this is Andre. And she's like, yeah, I know who he is. I know who he is. Hey, you know, she's really on some like, okay, you the guy that kind of messed up with the casino and the property, right? So this old dude, he's sitting over there and he's drunk. He's drunk off his ass. So then Haley goes in and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm actually the owner of the Pink, and these guys were trying to underbid me and try to give me $40,000 for this property. And we don't want word to get out that, you know, these folks are ripping black people off, black homeowners and black owners off by underbidding them and giving them under the value of the property. So Haley is working this lady, like she's letting them know, like, hey, it's way more. It's worth way more. And we know because you got that casino going on, right? So Dre's looking on, Corbin's looking on and seeing how Haley is working this lady and really informing her that they are trying to underbid her and give her less than what it's worth. So she's like, you know what? I'm the new owner here. Things are going to be run differently, you know, and as far as that endorsement, I don't care who the mayor is, as long as you don't mess up my casino, right? And getting that money. So she tells Haley, hey, you know what? We're going to be talking more and we're going to give you a higher payoff for that property, right? Wow. So now we back at the house, grandmother's house. And yeah, Uncle Clifford is taking her temperature. He's like, yo, he's taking the sugar. And she's like, your sugar's fine, but why you sweating like a hog? And she's like, I don't know. And then she starts coughing. And she takes grandmother's temperature. And it's 102 degrees. And she's like, what is going on? And grandmother, she's coughing. And man, I hope she don't got the Rona. I think she does, though. I think she does. So Uncle Clifford calls Toy. And he's like, Toy, how you doing? And she starts coughing. She's like, I knew it wasn't allergies. I knew it wasn't allergies, right? So now back in Dre's room, he's talking to Corbin. Corbin's going in talking trash about Haley. And Haley's in the room like, hey, I think I kind of worked that pretty good, right? And Dre almost spits his drink out, tells Corbin, listen, I'm going to call you back. And he's like, listen, you can't be coming up in here trying to mess this up for me. Like, I'm serious about being mayor. And he's just really going off because he knows that he has a weakness for her, but he keeps letting her come through and do certain things or whatever. So he's like, listen, you need to get out of here. You know, I'm in charge and I'm the boss. And she's like, yeah, you are the boss, right? And he's like, yeah, I let you win that bid. I really let you win. And she's like, yes, you did. You the boss. You got all the power, right? What do you want me to do? You know, she's really like, what you want me to do now? Because you the boss, right? So he's like, take off your clothes, right? So he does that. And then he's like, I want you to get on your knees and crawl. So she gets on her knees and crawls. Real weird, right? She's like, what you want me to do now? You got all the power, right? Just being submissive. And he's like, right? So she gets up. And yeah, it's about to finally go down after all of this time. They finally are gonna get it, and your boy Dre and Haley finally go in and do what they do. It's about time. So now we see Little Murda and Big Teak, right? And they're under the moon, you know, singing, you know, your boys, Outcast and all of that. Ain't nobody dope as me, right? Little Murda on the beat. And then he starts singing another song. And you know, Little Murda don't know what song that is, right? But it sounds good. Like, your boy Big T got, you know, a little bit of something. He's like, yo, who sang that? He's like, yo, that's Little Murda, you know, circa 2014. He's like, what? I ain't write that. He's like, yeah, that was one of your little songs that got me through, that you put on the tissue and sent to me. So Big T made up a song off of the lyrics that Little Murda put together. And he's like, yeah, man, you got me through it all. And, you know, he's really, again, expressing how he feels bad that he was in the hole. And Big T is like, yo, that wasn't the first time I was in the hole. You see these teardrops? That's for my siblings that died. And I was in that closet hiding that day as they were getting murdered. So I've been in the hole before. So they go in to talk about what they're going to do. He's like, get out the car. And he's like, I ain't getting out the car. And your boy Big T takes the strap and puts it to his head. And Little Murder is just like, yo, man, put down the strap. He's like, nah, man, I'm just tired. I'm tired of all of this. You know, Big T definitely, he been needed therapy, man. Like, he's been through so much in the hole, his family being murdered, his siblings being murdered. Like, he's been through a whole lot, man. And no matter how, good, Little Murder tries to help him, he still needs therapy, still needs help, and Little Murder even starts to cry, and boom, they show the back of the car and a flash goes off. Your boy Little Murder comes out of the car, upset, blood on his clothes and the whole nine. Man, crazy. And then we see Mercedes, and she is so upset. She is drinking, and then she hears a knock at the door. Who is it? Who could it possibly be? Man, it's Terica. She's been looking for Terica all day, and Terica shows at the door. She's like, what are you doing here? And she is crying her eyes out, totally upset. And she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? She gives her the pregnancy test, and it says, yes, Terica is pregnant. Man. History is repeating itself, right? Because she's like 15, 16 years old herself, right? So there's a knock at grandmother's door. She goes out. She's like, Daddy. She's delirious because she has 102 temperature. And it's Little Murder at the door with the blood on his clothes. And he's like, is Uncle Clifford here? And he is all messed up. Uncle Cliff is right there looking with concern. He's like, I'm not good. I'm not good. I'm not good at all. And he just starts crying. Uncle Cliff is there looking all concerned, definitely hugs him, tries to comfort him the best way possible, and then brings him inside. I mean, this is definitely a sad time for Little Murder. So that is the recap of episode 6 for P-Valley season 2. Like I said, fam, really deep episode. Rest in peace to Big Teak. And rest in peace to all those who, have committed suicide and the family, right? Man, prayers to the family. I mean, again, these episodes keep getting deeper and deeper. Drop your thoughts below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and do me a favor. Smash that subscribe button. Definitely smash that like button if you like this recap, like this video. And again, if you thought this video was crazy, this video was good for you, definitely check out this next one right here. I appreciate you all for watching. Salute.